Hello, first graders. Welcome to a new science lesson. Please get the scientist notebook ready and let's start. Please open page 76. As you know, we're still on Unit 3, use energy to communicate. Today we will be learning how to communicate with light and sound. So the focus will be using tools that give sounds and receive information over long distance, and these devices include light and sound. All right. So as you know, communication and communicating with people can start with either sounds or light, or sounds only or light only. For example, talking is a way of communicating using sound. Doorbell also, school bell, sirens. This is all clapping hands. This is a way to communicate or pass information or talk to people or give information or details using sounds. And then we also have the light, and we have both of them. But people can use both of them, both light and sound, to communicate. So let's see what we have today. Page 76. All right, communicate with light and sound. Let's listen. Tin can message sender. So I'll be sending a video how to do this. It's like a telephone or a toy that you can use, tin can, and you can use a thread, make a hole in both, and have a partner, and you can deal with and have fun. So please, of course, always ask supervision of an adult to help you to do this. So let's see what we have here. Two children tied a long string in two tin cans. They use this device to send and get messages. How do you think they send and got messages with this device? So as we see, they have two tin cans, and then they have a string. So you think they use light, they use sound, or they use electricity? I don't think there's light, and I don't see electricity, any connection with electricity. So they used sound. So this is your answer. They used sound. Awesome. Okay, we need to explain how this happened, or why do you think they use sound? All right, so let's see. The whole idea for this experiment, or fun activity to do, that as you see, one will be holding one side, one can, and the other person will be holding the other can. And those cans, both of them connected with a string, need to be pulled straight. One will be talking to one of the can, and the other one have the can on his ear to hear the message or to hear the sounds. So we need to put this information over here. So let's say when someone talks, into the can, as we just said, what will happen? The sounds need to travel, and we know sounds travel through vibrations. So vibrations travel through the string that it connects both cans, or both, let me put this down. Connect both cans, and it will travel to the other can, to the other can that is held up to the ear. So as we go back again, one will be holding one can, the other person will be holding the other can. So when this person talk, this can will be held up toward the ear and will be feeling the vibration and hearing the sound. Okay, I'll wait a few seconds for you so you can write this down. Okay, let's go to next page. So as we see in this experiment or this exercise activity, fun activity, children use only sound. Okay, let's see something else. Okay, page 77. Look at the photo of the lighthouse. What do you think the light is communicating? What question do you have about the lighthouse? So this is another way for people to communicate. As we say, people communicate using different devices and different methods. So using also different tools. So we saw communicating with sounds only, like the tin can message sender, and this is the lighthouse. All right. So what do you think? What question do we have? What question do you have about this lighthouse? All right, so we know there's a lighthouse that's help and provide assist and help to ship. All right, let's see if we have a video for that. As you see, it's going to be on a shore, quite tall, long, it has light. And this will help ships to, see their way when it's a foggy day that the vision is not clear.
Hello, my name is Eric. Do you like to play video games? Well, I do. If I was allowed, I would play video games all day long. Did you know that a lot of people work together to create just one game? I want to be a video game designer. They help figure out what the game will look like, what the challenges will be, and what the goal of the game will be. They also come up with the rules of the game. I cannot wait to start making my own games. I just know millions of people will want to play them.
Okay, for example, video games, what do you think you'd be using? Would be using only sounds or sounds and light? Both, sounds and light. All right, so let's come up with question for this picture of the lighthouse. Let's see. We can say, what does it tell ships? Does it also make sounds? So let's say, does it create sound? Remember, for this activity, we only put questions. And then when we cover the lesson, like essential question. And then when we cover the lesson, we will be able to answer these questions. All right. Let's go for next activity. Page 78 and 79. All right, communicate with light and sound. Materials here, objects or picture of objects that use light and or sound. So either light or light and sound or both. Which objects use light to communicate? Which objects use sounds to communicate? Then make a prediction, like guess, how do some objects communicate with people? So for example, I know that some objects use light, some objects use sound, some objects use both lights and sounds to communicate with people. We need to, for example, if you look at the traffic light, if you look at the traffic light, this is an object that uses only light to communicate with people. And some traffic lights that they have light and sound. And also radio use sound. So we to communicate, we use a doorbell. When someone comes ring the doorbell, that's a way of communicating that you know that someone outdoors, so you need to open the door. That's also using sounds. And both, like we saw, TV use both, your alarm clock use both. So let's write first which object use light, which object use sounds to communicate, and we're gonna put the objects all the way in a table over here. But let's just write the prediction that some object will be using light, some object will be using sounds, and then we're gonna list down in our chart here in the table, we're gonna list the object that it's used, either light, sound, or both. Okay, so let's first write this part. So we're gonna say that some objects use light or sound or both light and sound. Okay. So this is a way for people to communicate. They can use objects that use light or objects that use sound or objects that use both light and sound. So this is a way for people to communicate. Okay. Now, what we're gonna put, we're gonna list here the objects that we think which one uses light or sound or both. So for example, we said, for example, that objects that use light, we can say the computer screen. That's right. Computer screen. This is use light. We said also the traffic light. And I'm sure there's more, so you can just add more. All right, let's go for sounds. We said the radio. And we also say doorbell. Sounds also whistle. And then objects that use both light and sound, we can go for police car, television. Let me make it as a list so I can easily see it. We can have also our cell phone. Use both sounds and light. Alarm clock. And yeah, ambulance. We saw it in our opening for our lesson. All right. So these, you can also come up with other things. So these are a way people can communicate with light, sound, or both sound and light. Okay, let's see number 2. All right. What is an object you often use to communicate using light and sound? Yeah, I know, the cell phone. But let's say that we have, you know, children would be actually using more like computer, because computer or iPad can use both, or you can send emails, or the cell phone. So let's say the cell phone. We can use cell phone to send message, and to also can read your book. All right, or your computer when you can do your work on a computer, so you read and you can also listen to your video. So you have both light and sound. Okay. So today we use the word communicate, and we learn about how to send message as a fun game, Tin Can Message Sender. We also learn about the objects that can use lights to communicate with people, or use sound to communicate with people, or use both sounds and light to communicate with people. All right, that's it for today, first graders. Thank you. Bye-bye.